as in this timeline, Lucifer would have a pet, his favorite pet. It was a lizard. Lucifer liked ducks like in canon, but he also liked lizards in this timeline, as he used his magic to make it immortal. As he had it for centuries and centuries, enjoying it, spending time with it. But one night, Lilith would leave him as he would cry and grab onto his lizard pet, his pet Rex. As then he would say, "I miss you, Lilith, but at least I have you, little guy." As he would crawl on his shoulder, he would smile as he would pet the lizard. At least Lucifer had one friend. As then he would put him down on the floor, Lucifer would sit down and think, not really knowing what to do. But this was a mistake. Because as Lucifer cried, his magic began to expel, and with nowhere to go, it expelled all across the house. As Rex would absorb it, Rex would then leave, feeling unstable and feeling addicted, feeling a need for magic, feeling a need for more, as Rex continued to walk away. Wanted more magic to survive, wanted to feed off it, as it started to learn how to feed off the magic of hell itself. As then we cut to Adam. As Adam and Loot were doing an experiment on a gorilla, as in Loot would say, "Are you sure this is a good idea?" "Of course it's a good idea. An ape is like, what, 8 times stronger than the average person?" Loot would say, "It's a gorilla, and it's 3 times stronger." As in Adam would say, "See? So if we gave it magic, it would be 3 times stronger than the average exorcist. Now we just need to train it." As Loot says, "That thing will kill you. It's a wild animal." Adam would go, "I'm like a zookeeper. Isn't that right, Bobos? Now fetch," as he threw a banana. As then Adam would say, "I said fetch," as he slapped him. But then Bobos would punch Adam, and he would say, "It seemed like you need more training." Luckily, Adam had magic, so it didn't really bother him. He didn't really treat him well. He tortured him, abused him. And each time he tortured him, he abused him. He made sure to add some magic to him, making him smarter, making him more advanced, making him take orders well, and making him stronger. But this had a side effect. His body couldn't handle the magic, so his body would start to grow. As Adam would like this, he would call him King Kong, as there was a giant ape walking around in heaven. Sarah hated this. So did most of heaven, but they didn't really say much, not wanting to piss off Adam and make this ape throw a temper tantrum. As then we cut to Rex, now Godzilla, as he was moving through the subway tunnels, not yet huge. He was looking for magic to absorb, as there were imps there. As they saw this strange creature, they thought it was a sinner. To a human level of height, but not much past that. But he didn't want to hurt anyone. He was still Lucifer's friend, and he missed his buddy. He thought about going back to him, but would he even like him like this? And his hunger, could he even sustain himself over there? He didn't know. As the imps would pull out their weapons and start to blast at him, demanded money, but Rex didn't say anything. He couldn't talk. He would use his magic to make it into atomic breath, blasting one of them, melting them into liquid. As then he absorbed the small magic. Every being here had magic, even if they couldn't use it. The imps didn't have much, but it would do. As then he grew a tiny, tiny bit. As the rest of the imps continued to surround him, shoot him, hit him. But no matter what the imps did, no matter how hard they attacked Godzilla, nothing happened. They couldn't get through his thick skin. As Zilla would sigh, he didn't really want to hurt these people, but it seemed like he didn't have a choice, and his hunger for magic needed to be filled. So he would grab one of them and rip them open. As he'd take them all on one-on-one, they would scream in terror. They would fight with everything they had, but it was worthless. As they all laid there no more, he began to grow a bit. As he went deeper underground, absorbing the magic from it, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, slowly evolving into something more. Zilla would now hide underground, ashamed of what he became, ashamed of the monster that he was. As he would absorb the magic from hell, he only began to grow, until eventually he reached his limit, as he was able to absorb it without growing. As the reason he had to grow is because he didn't have a natural hell-born body. So the only way for him to get the magic was to grow bigger, but now he evolved to do it. As his spikes on his back would turn red with magic, he began to increase his power, and eventually went into deep sleep underground, waiting to wake up when someone needed him. As then we cut back to heaven. As then Adam had an idea. As he said, Luke, can you make a giant angelic weapon? Luke would say, well, yeah, technically I could, but wait. What exactly are you planning right now, Adam? As Adam would laugh and say, I think it's quite obvious, don't you? Luke would go, no, I do not think it is quite obvious at all. As Adam would just say, just watch me and you'll find out. As then Adam made a giant angelic spear appear as King Kong grabbed it. As then Adam would start to train King Kong. As then Luke would say, are you insane? What if he goes rogue? He could destroy, he's not going to go rogue. He knows his place, don't you? Kong would nod as he trained under Adam and began to train with a blade. The reason Adam did this was he wanted to strike fear in the sinner's hearts. He wanted to strike fear in demons' hearts. And he had a strange feeling.
Feeling of pure paranoia. He was scared. He had a feeling that these demons were getting stronger. After all, the sinners already destroyed one exorcist. They never even touched them before. What if there's more? What if they kill him? He needed a secret weapon. A weapon so cool, a weapon so awesome, no one could stop it. And a giant gorilla with a spear, that's pretty awesome. As he continued to train Kong through fear, Kong continued to train with him and became stronger and stronger. As he was bound to Adam, not by spell, not by magic, but by fear. He was scared to do anything against him. As then we cut to Lucifer.
As Lucifer was walking down the street, he missed his buddy. He missed his best friend, Rex. Rex was always there for him. Rex loved him, and he cared for Rex. And now he was gone. He had to find him. After all, his daughter was gone. She moved out. Lilith left him. As he cried, he began to search as he flew everywhere, asking questions. As the king himself came out, everyone looked for this lizard, but he couldn't find him. But then he felt something, a weird burst of magic underground. As we cut to Godzilla, Godzilla felt Lucifer looking for him, and he could have just let him go on his way. He thought about it, but he couldn't do that. He needed to see his friend. As time would pass, Lucifer would walk in and say, buddy, as then Godzilla would look at him. As Lucifer would say, Rex, it's you. As Godzilla walked back, he expected him to be ashamed of him, to look at him with disgust. But then he would say, you look so cool! As then he would smile. As he would slowly pick Lucifer up, they would walk out together. As he walked, the entire ground shook. As Lucifer and Godzilla began to spend time together, Lucifer would play with Godzilla, and this gave him strength. As they would play fight, he would begin to learn, kind of like training, but less intense version of it. However, Godzilla was a gifted learner, and easily learned whatever Lucifer showed him. And he was able to absorb some of his magic, becoming way more powerful. As Godzilla had great, amazing strength, but his technique was lacking. Lucifer would teach him some technique here and there, but he didn't think he would ever fight someone, so it's not like he taught him how to absolutely destroy. As Lucifer and Godzilla got closer and closer, we cut to King Kong. He was fighting with a fake spear. He had an angelic one and a one for training that wouldn't kill the exorcist. As they were using shock batons, they would shock him, causing him to have intense, deep, searing pain. As Kong felt the pain throughout his body, all he could think about was Adam. All he could think about was disappointing him, scared what would happen. As suddenly he would scream and hit the ground, causing him to shake as some extras fell down. He would then get his spear and begin to swing it, knocking more and more down. As then he would sit down, as Adam would walk up to him and fly on his shoulder. You're doing good, very good, Kong. You're my good little boy. Guess what I got for you? A giant banana! As he would make a giant banana appear, Kong would then eat it. As Adam would say, so cool! I'm so glad of a giant monkey. Luke would say, it's a gorilla, sir. Yeah, monkey, gorilla, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Kong, you're with me, right? Soon we'll go on an exorcism, and we can destroy things together. Won't that be fun? Kong would simply nod. Kong learned a lot. He learned sign language and other things while in heaven. However, he was still very annoyed. And he wanted nothing more but to get freedom. Maybe run away, maybe kill Adam, anything. He didn't know, but for now he had to go along with the exorcism. As then we cut back to Godzilla. As Lucifer would knock on the door, Charlie would open it. As Godzilla and Lucifer were both there, Charlie would say, what the heck is that thing?
As then Lucifer would say, well, it's Rex. As then Charlie would say, wait, I can feel his energy in there. I feel a bunch of other people's energy too. Has he been absorbing magic? Lucifer would say, yeah, he's been doing that. Wait a second. There's been rumors about a creature. Is that Godzilla? Lucifer would say, the giant lizard creature I heard rumors about? Of course not. It's... Oh, wait, that actually makes a lot of sense. As then Alistair would say, interesting. Well, your father has a unique taste in pets. As then Lucifer would go in as things would continue like in canon, but this time as the loan sharks came by, Godzilla would have something to say about that.
Metaphorically, of course, because he is a giant lizard. As then he would open his mouth and begin to absorb their magic, absorb their essence. As then they would fall to the floor as they kept on blasting against him, as they kept on fighting, doing anything they could, but they couldn't, as Godzilla began to kick them out. But he was a gentle giant. Anyone who dropped their weapon and ran, he would let them go. As Godzilla dealt with them all, Lucifer said, that was bad. Hey, look how cool he is. Maybe we should make more, you know? As then Charlie would say, that is cool, Dad, but the hotel. As then things would continue like in canon. As then we cut to King Kong. As Adam was getting closer and closer, the exorcism was about to start. As he would talk to Kong privately and say, I know you can't talk or whatever, but listen up. I think it's time to... Suddenly he would use sign language, as Adam would say, I don't understand that crap. Listen here. We are going to attack them. We are going to destroy them. We are going to wipe them off the face of the earth. Understand? And you are going to do everything I say. You may be bigger, but I am Adam, the first man on earth. Kong would nod. As all the exorcists began to fly down to hell, Kong would simply look down. He would take a deep sigh. He had to do this, as then he jumped. He would then land down in hell as he pulled out his angelic spear and began to whip it around, destroying all the buildings. As Charlie and everyone else was there in canon, they would get ready to fight. But Kong would be too much. Alistair would turn big and try to deal with them, grabbing him with tentacles. But then he would scream and bite it, ripping it in half. As then he threw a spear, hitting him straight in the shoulder, causing him to turn back to his normal form and disappear. As Kong continued ripping through everything, it seemed like all hope was lost. But then Godzilla appeared and let a big scream. As Adam said, what the F is that? That's no fair. I'm the only one supposed to have a monster here. As then King Kong would charge at Godzilla. As Godzilla and King Kong began to battle each other. As King Kong would use his spear, Godzilla had very tough, thick skin. He was able to take hit after hit. However, Godzilla wasn't a fighter. He was a gentle giant, wanting to help others. King Kong, though, has been bred to fight. So Kong had the advantage. Even though Godzilla was physically stronger, he didn't have that edge in him. As King Kong began to win, pushing him further and further back, Godzilla became sad. He thought he had to kill him, but he didn't want to. He could sense it. Kong was different. Godzilla's killed before, but Kong, he has a gentle heart. He's just been forced into becoming this thing. As they fought and fought and fought, suddenly something would happen. As then Godzilla would hug King Kong. Kong was shocked, as he didn't know what to do. He just stood there, but then he realized what he needed to do. As Kong would then hug Godzilla back. Kong never felt this before. Kong never had any love for him. Kong never had any great emotions. Kong never had someone to care about him. Adam just used him like a weapon. The fact that someone gave him this attention made him happy, and he knew what he needed to do. As Kong began to run on all fours, Godzilla would follow. As Adam heard a big screech, suddenly Kong would grab him, and he would begin to struggle. As Adam was about to break free, suddenly Godzilla would be behind him as he would summon his atomic breath. His atomic breath was made from pure magic and acted like an angelic weapon. As Adam would say, wait, we can talk about this, listen, As suddenly Godzilla would breathe and melt in him in his hand as he turned into just goo. As King Kong would let him go, Loot would begin to cry and say, I knew not to bring that dumb ape. As then they would all leave. Everyone would look at the two giants. As Lucifer would say, we have two of them now, that's so cool. As then Godzilla would simply smile and begin to walk off, as King Kong would walk off with them. As Charlie would say, Dad, where are they going? Lucifer would say, I don't know, but it seems like they're best buddies. King Kong and Godzilla became friends. They would now become the guardians of hell. They would protect hell and protect its residents from exorcists and other threats, and even defend the weak. It seemed like Godzilla and King Kong were now heroes, roaming hell, making it a better place. As that is where their story ends. And that's going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends. Please, please, please share it. Please, please like it. Please, please, please subscribe. Love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. You mean the world to me. Peace out. And who do you like better, King Kong or Godzilla?